Hey guys, Brian from 2Fab here. Today we are with showrunner Adi Shankar. We're going to talk all about the new Netflix series Castlevania. I gotta say, I played the game a lot growing up, so I'm very excited for it.
Which game did you play? Because there's a lot of games.
It was the second one. The second one
Yeah.
for Super Nintendo, I think was the big one for me. I think I had it for Game Boy too.
There was a Game Boy edition. There was. There's been a lot of Castlevania
Yes.
games, which is what was so dope about this being able to work on this franchise.
And why do you think it took so long for something like this to happen?
You know, I think video game adaptations, in general, have had a stigma,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, there hasn't been a good one
No, there's not a good
up until
track record.
Friday when this drops, and people are going to be like, "Oh, there's the first good one." And you know, no disrespect to anyone that has made a video game adaptation before,
Yeah,
but they've been cash grabs by posers. So
So what do you bring to this medium then that hasn't been before?
oh, it's not what I bring. It's just, you know, like I'm a fan. I'm genuinely a fan. Like I grew up playing games. I'm a gamer. You know, I'm more of a gamer than I am a movie guy.
Now, when you are taking on a property like this, what are the pressures? You know, that it is such a beloved property for a lot of people.
I didn't really feel pressure. I don't think any of us, because you know, there's again a lot of people worked on this show. It's not just me.
Right.
I don't think we felt pressure because, again, like this show was made by fans for fans, right? So like, we understood the source material. We were just like, oh yes, we get to tell it now.
And do you think that is what the biggest problem is for a lot of these adaptations? The people behind it just don't care about the source material?
I think that's the problem with 99.9% of the movies that come out in movie theaters is they suck because they're cash grabs, but they have to be because they're going for this like broad McDonald's audience.
But do you think people are afraid to take on franchises like this because of what's happened in the past or because of some of the stigmas that come along with these projects?
I feel in very much in a lot of ways that I'm an outsider to Hollywood, right? Like, yeah, I engage quite a bit, but I just kind of immediately run away and just I'm out with my own crew. I do my own thing.
I think that's something that people get excited about too, that it is someone who's not in the Hollywood system, that you know, your films that you have online, they have all these huge fan followings.
Oh, I routinely try to get myself extricated from the system. I mean, I've literally done things to be like that Power Rangers short, for instance, which I guess you're referencing. Like that was supposed to be, I don't want to say a mic drop, but that was like, I was done after that. I'm like, I'm making this because I've wanted to see this since I was 7. And I'm quitting. I'm done. I shut down everything. I was getting ready to leave Los Angeles, and I guess it didn't work out that way. But yeah, I'm routinely trying to get myself kicked out of the system.
And they keep pulling you back in.
Well,
Or
I think
trying
the
to.
advent of streaming technology has created a infrastructure and an ecosystem where projects like Castlevania can exist in a way that they would have been unable to 10 years ago.
I was gonna say, what is it like to be part of this Netflix family? It just kind of popped up out of nowhere a few years ago, and now it's like dominating pop culture.
I feel blessed, man. I feel lucky. Like again, you know, this show, for instance, is made with 2D hand-drawn animation.
Which it looks insane. It looks so
Thank
good.
you, man. Appreciate that. Seriously, I know I appreciate that. 2D hand-drawn animation, it doesn't exist anymore, right? Like CGI, that computer-generated, that aesthetic that Pixar has really done wonderful things with.
Yeah.
That is animation. Animation is also limited to either that or comedy, right? And don't get me wrong, I love Family Guy. BoJack Horseman's dope, but this doesn't exist outside of this show.
Yeah. And
Right-
is that
right now.
why you wanted to go in this kind of direction with
Absolutely.
Because people, I think, when the first trailer popped up, they were surprised by what it looked like, but in an excited way.
I mean, totally. And you know, when you're young and you're like, man, I want to tell stories, right? Because ultimately, like, I'm a storyteller. We're all storytellers here, right? When you're a storyteller, you're generally like looking back to the things that inspired you as a kid. I grew up in Hong Kong, and I grew up with watching cartoons like the X-Men animated series, right?
Mm-hmm.
That the X-Men animated series has had more of an impact on my on my psyche than most movies I watched, right? And I think that's this is a maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a weirdo, or maybe I'm partially a weirdo, and other people feel the same way too.
Now, you talk about your inspirations. For this series, was there a specific game you wanted to reference or draw
Castlevania
inspiration?
3.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why that one in particular?
I can't say that without getting into spoiler alert
Okay.
territory.
All right, all right. Is there an aspect that you were most excited to bring that you are allowed to talk about, I guess, from any of the games or a character in general?
Sort of spoiler territory.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you this one because I kind of
Okay.
dodged another question, right? And now that's just
And then I
not
asked the
cool.
same
And you're
one
super
again.
dope, and you're like a dope dude, right? Like Alucard's in it. Now that might not mean anything to you,
It does, but I won't put it out
but
there.
but there's someone who heard that and went, yes, Alucard's in it.
Okay. And now, are we thinking about a second season already? Is that already, the wheels already spinning for that?
Not only
Is it done?
Not only did Netflix greenlight a second season, they never do this, but before the show isn't even out yet.
Yeah.
They doubled the episode order for season 2.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, just drop that on you.
Well, that's very exciting then.
Yeah, it's like amazing. Like, this is what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? This isn't like, I felt like, yeah, I don't want to rail on my live action career because I mean, making live action movies is cool too.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing those, but this is dope.
But this is where your
But
head
this-
is right now.
Right.
I mean, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it's it's storytelling. It's just a different aesthetic.
Yeah.
But
Now, if
it's
we,
for adults.
Yeah.
So if you have a little child at home,
no,
you should definitely show it to your little child. It's for adults, but show it to your
but
child.
show it to
Yeah.
them anyways.
Mhm.
I mean, they're probably going to try and watch it anyway.
Absolutely.
No, I'm excited to see it. I can't wait for it. I'll be watching it this weekend. And good luck with it. And I hope we have you back for season 2.
Yeah. Season 2 with double episodes.
Yes.
Double episode order.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming in here
Dude,
today.
thank you, bro. Damn.